Today's video is going to cover a live boot. With a live boot, what you're doing is loading an operating system onto some kind of removable media, such as a CD-ROM, a DVD-ROM, or a flash drive. Today, most commonly, everything is being done on flash drive due to the size of operating systems. However, you might find something light enough to still do on some kind of DVD or CD-ROM. With a live boot, what you do is you load the entire operating system onto the computer's RAM, and it runs in a state where the activities that you take don't really get logged onto the system. So it can run on essentially any machine where you have access to the BIOS. Now, to create this, you're going to need to download a tool called Universal Pen Drive Linux. This is for Windows only, so Apple users will need to use different tools. But considering that most computers will run Windows, I'm going to only cover this. Download the program from here, and you'll find the exe in your downloads folder, and you just need to click it to run. When you run this program, you're going to get to choose your operating system, and it supports multiple different types of Linux operating systems. And right over here under your security tools, you are going to find Kali Linux right here under security and penetration testing. So click on Kali Linux, and you're going to browse your system for your Kali Linux ISO. And the different with Universal Pen Drive Linux, it's only going to write to a flash drive. So in this situation, you're going to have a flash drive. Mine is already pre-configured to exFAT. However, to make sure for 100% functionality, I'm going to choose a FAT32, which will reformat my entire drive into the FAT32 file system. And this is just a warning to let me know that it's going to overwrite everything. And the process usually takes anywhere between about 5 to 10 minutes, again, depending on what kind of flash drive that you're using. Obviously, a flash drive such as a USB 3.0 will write faster than a 2.0. All right, so now that this is done, we have a bootable USB flash drive. To be able to use your flash drive, there's a couple things you can do. The first thing is go into your computer's BIOS to make sure that you have the boot options starting from your flash drive. However, if you're using a computer such as a Dell or an HP, there are some quick access buttons you can do without having to overwrite your BIOS's startup commands. With HP, you're going to hit escape as your computer boots up, and that will give you a quick menu where you can choose which file you want to boot from. And with Dell, it's going to be F12, and it's the same thing. It'll ask for the boot device that you want to work with. There's not really a way for me to do that, so at this point, if you guys have any questions, I'm sure someone at the cybersecurity lab will be able to help you out with that. And lastly, when you do go into your live boot USB, there's going to be a couple of options for you to choose from. Just like when we were installing our Kali Linux, it's going to give you the different options. When you're live booting, you want to make sure you choose the first one, which says that you do run a live boot. If you do choose an option such as a graphical install or an install, you do have a risk of writing over your data. So make sure that whenever you're live booting, just use the first option, which is to give you the live boot.